Vitoria, yeah, not versus Victoria, not versus Victoria's Secret, versus Vitoria. Apparently, there's some team in Portugal, so we're not playing Benfica. It's the wrong competition. We're not playing Porto. You never heard of them because we're in the Europa League, and the Europa League in this stage we've looked like world beaters because obviously we haven't played anybody. So let's see what we're going to look like when the Champions League teams start dropping down. We've got some guests with us today. We've got Broads from AFTV FC. Broads, tell everyone where they can find you, my bro.
Yeah, Instagram @J, the letter J, and Broads has it spelled down there. Same thing for Twitter, TikTok, same thing as well, man. All of it.
We've also got Diesel.
Thanks for having me on again, son.
You're welcome. We've got the Kid.
Yo, what's good, guys?
I think he's the only MV person here. But I respect your opinions, bro, and I respect the fact that you stay strong to your beliefs as well.
Yeah.
We've got Imaguna.
How you doing? You all right?
And we've got Martin Lawrence in the bottom left-hand corner.
Kid.
No, it's Denzel, mate. It's Denzel.
It's a haircut, bro. It's a haircut.
Yeah, the tune looking sharp though, Addy.
Look, I was getting ready for something today, but it didn't happen today. But I'm available for this.
What did she say?
Oh, what? No. We're supposed to.
I was thinking the same thing.
No. I was supposed to have a football match, so obviously you have to look good for the match for the cameras. But
bro, you know what?
Got postponed.
Bro, you don't have to make excuses. We've all had rejection. If you
don't get rejected, you're lying.
I hope you don't remember Addy. He was on one of our other podcasts. Addy is a goalie for AFTV FC, and he's the one who can play out from the back.
Yeah,
Kieran, if you're watching, bro, I love you. I love you, Kieran.
Oh man.
You know, Kieran's fuming right now. Hearing that.
Yeah.
That's because Kieran said he was busy tonight. That's why. But no, Kieran's a good goalie, man.
He is.
Wicked goalie, man. You know what? We're gonna move on to obviously the Europa League game. You know, all of us expecting to win and go through and play some sparkling football like we have done in the other two games. Just a bit about Vitoria. Obviously, they're in Portugal. It's the place that you don't book to go on holiday because no one's ever heard of it. So it's there, but it's in Portugal somewhere.
Sorry, can I say what Emery said about them because it will surprise you. This is what he said in his interview today. This is on what he expects from Victoria. We respect them. They are fourth in the table in Portugal and are a very competitive team. They've lost their first two games, but the games were close. Tomorrow we'll expect a difficult match.
Well, that's Emery all over. Obviously, lowering expectations before we've even kicked off. A little bit more about Vitoria. Obviously, they're bottom of the group. They've lost their first two games. They lost their first game away to Standard Liège 2-0. And they lost their last game at home in this competition to Eintracht Frankfurt 1-0. So you know they're not good pedigree. They wouldn't win Crufts. But before we go into the Europa League and team selection and everything else, just want to welcome everyone in the comments and everyone who's watching. Don't forget to smash the like button.
Those people saying I was hiding last time. I'm here.
All right, let's come to you then, the Kid, because obviously you've had a couple of days to meditate and to take things in, and also to see a bit of sense.
This is what I'm looking forward to. This bit.
What's your take on the Sheffield United game, and what did your hero Unai Emery do wrong?
Okay, there's a lot of things he did wrong. I'm not gonna lie. I can't go out there just blindly defend him and say he's done nothing wrong. That's completely bullshit. Let's be honest. He's made mistakes. One of the biggest mistakes I would say is his team selection. Everyone looked at the team sheet and was like, "Why is Kieran Tierney not there?" You can give an excuse for why Bellerin was not there, but Tierney, and even you could say maybe even Holding should have guaranteed been on that team sheet. Am I wrong?
Well,
Everyone
Holding's been fit for the last 6 weeks.
Yeah.
So that was one big mistake. Okay, how about this? Let me give you guys a task. Can any of you 5 name 2 positive things from that performance?
The only positive that I can think of, which ain't a positive really, because obviously he should be getting into the games now, is Pepe had quite a good game. But
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh, there is
Okay.
one more thing. Freddie Ljungberg getting booked by Shane Passion.
Yeah,
That's a positive.
yeah.
That
Sorry.
right there shows you the kind of manager we want. A guy who backs his players, says certain things. Don't take me wrong. I'm not Emery out. But at the same time, I see his mistakes. I see what he does wrong, but I'm supporting him until I reach a tipping point where there's no return. And that for me is when I've seen him with his best players on the pitch and they're doing the same static issues. I understand that he hasn't picked them yet and you guys are saying they're healthy, but there's a reason why he hasn't picked them. And we don't know those reasons. We're not the manager. We're not the guys with our coaching badges. We're not the guy who's managed in all these different leagues. But one thing I'll take away from the manager is when he speaks, honestly, what we hear is waffle. Like he's just completely talking gibberish. Well, because
that's
when
one
he
thing.
speaks, he's not caring.
That's one thing you and Emery got in common.
At least I'm charismatic. He doesn't know how to be charismatic. He doesn't know how to get people on his side. He doesn't know how to speak in a way where people can understand what he's saying or where he's coming from.
That's another thing you and Emery got in common.
At least I feel like people can understand where I'm coming from. You know what I mean?
But can I just jump in on one thing you said?
Yeah.
You said, with Freddie Ljungberg, this is he's showing passion on the touchline. Don't forget all these, like, I don't want to say, let's say fickle Arsenal fans. Once Emery came in and he was throwing his hands up and doing that, everyone was getting happy that he stands up and he's doing things. Honestly, he's doing it for the camera.
Where was that when we were at Watford?
No, but it's the thing. He can do all of that, but it's not affecting our team. It's not making us better. When Klopp does it, people think that what Klopp is doing. Oh yeah, you can just copy Klopp. Klopp actually puts down how he wants to play, and he literally has structured his team. He's made his team understand his way. In less than 18 months, everybody knew how Liverpool wanted to play with Klopp from the get-go. He didn't have the best players. And to be fair, even before Van Dijk came in, Liverpool was still good. They just had a poor defense, but their attack was amazing. Everyone knew how they wanted to play. It was just that you could actually get at Liverpool. With us, Emery has been here for 12 months and how many games now? We still don't know how he wants to play. Every press conference, he always says, we want to show our attacking influence. It's got to the stage where I don't want to hear you say it. We should be seeing it on the pitch, and we don't see it every single game. So it's a thing where, yes, he can show passion, or Ljungberg might show passion, but then it's turning that passion into actual things on the pitch that will actually amount to something. But at the moment, it's just all words of Emery.
Terry's got some of the extracts from his press conference. If you want to read them, Matt.
Right. Yep. Where are we? This is one. We'll go with this one first, right? This is his. This was a question asked to Emery today in his post conference, on whether his best back four is on the bench, and this is his response: "We are improving defensively. We are conceding less goals. That's one objective we're achieving. But I don't want to achieve that best performance only with one system or with the same 4 players. In the Europa League, we are using different players and they are also improving our defensive moments. It's for all the players. Above all, I want to continue to be an offensive team, but improve defensively. Our mentality is to be offensive. I am going to get that balance little by little, but now we are becoming a more competitive team. We are improving defensively, and we want for the next step to keep our offensive capacity. I think we are going to do that. After Monday, we can be disappointed, but we've got another chance in 24 hours.
I think the only thing with that, the chance I've got in 24 hours is not the same competition, so you can't really gauge the two,
Exactly.
If Sheffield United was in this Europa League group that we're in, I'd expect them to qualify as well.
Yeah. I mean, the first thing I get out of that was we are improving defensively, right? I mean, if you want to go with facts, like I said, we've conceded 12 goals this season in the first 9 games. 12 goals I think it is, and last season it was 11. So we're 1 goal worse off already. So how on earth we're achieving that, I don't know. And the other part is that we want to achieve the best performance with not one system or with the same 4 players. So does that mean now that the old season now is going to rotate the back 4? Because that's what it says to me. I don't know about you guys, but that's what it says to me.
Sorry, just to add on that stat as well. Sorry, bros, just to add on that stat. Last Arsene Wenger's 47 games of Arsene Wenger, we conceded 53 goals and kept 17 clean sheets. We're under Unai Emery, we've conceded 60 goals in his first 47 games, and we've only had 10 clean sheets. So we're worse off defensively, even under Arsene Wenger as well. Sorry, broads, there you go.
And we've also had less possession, and we've had more shots conceded.
And we're having less shots away from home, and we're 6 points off of the league this time round than what we are last time. And we was on that 20-game unbeaten run, don't forget.
And we've got a better squad.
Yeah.
Well, this is like a key thing, though. It's a key bit of information. It's good that you all said what you said, right? Look, with Wenger, obviously Wenger has had this style at Arsenal for a long time, and any manager that comes in after a long-term manager, like we've seen at Manchester United, it's gonna be a very, very hard task to complete. Do you know what I mean? That being said, I do feel like he could have done a lot better, right? He's had a chance to bring in some of his own players now. They are still finding their feet, like Pepe, for example. He did have a decent game against Sheffield United. Guendouzi has been good as well. So I feel like with Emery, it's not all bad, because let's say we win 2 games in a row. We know what the fan base is like. Everyone's going to be like, yeah, you know what, Emery in, right? I think it's vital for Arsenal fans to judge this at least after Christmas.
Right, let me ask you a question. If we lose to Palace, and then we then lose to Wolves, right? What's the state of play then?
State of play. Listen, if I'm honest with you,
can I answer this?
Okay, gosh.
Okay. If you just asked me if we lose the next 2 games, what's the state?
I actually asked Paul, but he didn't.
Okay, yeah. You honestly think the board
The kid's finally turning, look.
You honestly feel like the board are going to sack Emery after 2 games?
They won't do it.
They won't do it. Let's be honest. They're gonna give him enough rope until either top 4 is not mathematically possible anymore. Let's be real. They're not going to sack him unless top 4 is not mathematically possible. So the fan base, he might have lost the fan base, but he's not going to lose the board or the back room, Raul, any of those guys, until it's mathematically impossible for Arsenal not to qualify for the top 4. Let's be honest.
Rampelforski is asking if anyone's going to Arsenal tomorrow. In answer to that, I'm not going again under Emery. That's the answer to that question. I'm not going Thursday.
I don't watch Arsenal. I don't even watch Arsenal no more. The football's boring.
It is. It's worse than watching paint dry.
You know what? As everyone knows, I sold my season tickets at the start of the season after last season, right? I actually sold my season tickets at the start of the season, but I could get tickets. And a friend of mine phoned me up. He goes to me, I got 2. He goes to me, I got 2 for Thursday night. You can have them for £15 each. I go, no, keep them. Don't want them, right? He goes to me, I've got 2 for. Bearing in mind, this guy hooks me up with good seats as well. Upper tier, best seat. He goes, you can have them for £55 each, like £90 tickets, £80 tickets. I said, you know what, bruv? £110 for me and my son. Something to eat. A drink each.
Yeah.
£15 a park. It's costing me £200.
Yeah. He then said to Sonny, no, I'm paying you this money. Please take them.
I ain't doing it. I'm not doing it until I see change. I'm not doing it until either change your
how
manager or
long
change
have
your
you been
football.
going to Arsenal games too? Doesn't it hurt you not to be there?
Doesn't hurt me at all.
Well, why does it? The thing is, the kid, right? I'm a season ticket holder, and I honestly, I've texted my mate earlier on and said I'm not going Thursday, even though it's probably going to be our best team, like it has been in the last 2 games. but I can't be bothered to trot all the way up there on a Thursday night, cold and raining, just in the fact that Emery, you don't know what team he's going to put out.
Yeah, but you're going to be there Sunday.
I will be there Sunday. But I truly believe that this is going to be his biggest game this season.
You know what? The answer to the kid's question, it hurts a lot more after you spent a couple of £100 and they play shit.
Yeah.
Sonny, look at it from my perspective. I just recently moved to the UK, so I'm privileged now where I can go to games. But before, I wasn't able to go to games. So when I hear you, as somebody who's been going to games for a long time, saying you're not going to go anymore, that hits me more than I think the person that lives in the UK and says, "Oh, I can go to Arsenal game anytime."
Yeah, but the kid, like, people are spending their hard-earned money.
Yeah.
To go and watch. This is like, at the end of the day, yeah, football. I remember, I think it was Van Gaal said that football is the most important out of the lesser important things in life. These guys have to put food on their table for the children and whatnot. You know what I mean? It would be a very self-centered thing to go and spend £200 to go and watch just shit in it. You know? Excuse me. Excuse me.
Bro, you know what? If you're not getting entertained,
Yeah.
you ain't going to spend £200 to watch shit.
Yeah.
But it's not even that. I'll tell you what it is that when you go to the stadium now, there's no excitement. It's just dead. The attitude with everyone, it's like, what's like I've been saying on the podcast since we started this. It's predictable. It's boring. It's going to be crap. You know what players is going to play. There's no excitement whatsoever. There's no sinning. There's nothing. It's dead.
Even let's just add about, for example, we played Sheffield United. Those fans, cool, whether it was Arsenal and they're going to be up for it because it's a big team, but every single game, you know that the players will put in 100%. You know that the manager will actually play the best squad, and you know the tactics are going to be correct. They're not second guessing. Oh, why is he playing him? Why is he playing him? Or even if he does put in another player, let's say the Sheffield United manager, there'll be a reason behind it, and then you can actually see that implemented in the team. So, which is why even if Sheffield United are battling for relegation, their supporters will always keep coming because they actually want to see the team improve. They actually again, even when they play Liverpool, they play beautiful football against Liverpool. You can actually see something. But then now with Arsenal, you don't get that. You don't have that. Oh, you know what? Emery's really pushing. Like if we went to games, like fair enough. Under Arsene Wenger, people might say, he was naive and he will think, we can go toe to toe with teams. And I think, I think like obviously that was the one balance that he got wrong a bit. Extreme. That it was too much like gung ho. Let's go out and beat the team. But with Arsene Wenger, this is the thing, we would go to Sheffield United. We will still lose under Arsene Wenger, but we'll dominate that match. We'll actually be camped in their half. But with under Emery, Sheffield United are comfortable. We're saying, you know what? We don't even have to long.
We're too negative.
Bro, we're 70% possession on Monday night. 70% possession and created what?
In our half. 70% possession in our half.
100%.
Listen, it's two extremes. One guy would let your players do whatever the hell they wanted. One guy is restricting the players from doing what they want. Yeah,
but do you know what is silly about Emery as well? Is like I like him in it, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, but sometimes first of all, Xhaka being the captain, you know what I mean? And already that's a statement that shows we're not really creative then. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Sackable offense.
Yeah,
honestly, it is. I was done with Xhaka last year, man.
Yeah, Emmanuel Petit's come out on Twitter and said, "What are Arsenal doing having him as our captain?" Ian Wright has said it. All these ex-Arsenal players have all been saying it. So it's not just fans; it's ex-players, it's pundits. You know what I mean? It ain't just Arsenal fans that are saying all this rubbish.
Mm-hmm. But don't you guys think we did play better against the top teams over this last season when we faced top teams, like when we faced Chelsea, when we faced Spurs, when we faced United at home or away? We played better against those guys. When we beat Napoli home and away, we had times where when there's big games, we are up for it and we fight. It's the smaller teams.
But then when we played those big games against Napoli, under Emery, which is why again, he doesn't know his best formation, doesn't know how to utilize the best players. If you look at all those matches, we played a three at the back, we played Lacazette and Aubameyang out top, we played Ozil in behind. we were actually creative. He actually played the best squad, and we got the best out of the squad. And then even when Ramsey came in, he will put Ramsey in that number 10. We were actually creative. We actually took it to teams. But then now he's gone back to a back four, and I've even from the last season, Arsene Wenger, when we played that back four, we actually lost, or we didn't know how to play or defend with a back four. And Emery does not, again, know we don't know how to defend with a back four. Too many spaces, too many gaps. So, which is why, for me, our best formation defensively, if we actually want to be compact, is with a back five, because we have the extra body to help defend. But the Emery doesn't want to do that. He thinks, well, he wants to make Xhaka play. Xhaka that can't run around, but then we've got defensive midfielder on the bench, a natural defensive midfielder on the bench in Torreira that can actually get around, but he wants to play Torreira as an attacking midfielder.
Yeah,
he's just doing everything backwards.
And
so,
also, what you got to remember, yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm finished.
Yeah. Also, what you got to remember, yeah. You bring in David Luiz, yeah. We got him on the cheap, right? David Luiz hasn't actually been the best he could be so far. But one thing we do have to remember at Chelsea was, where was he playing best? What formation was he playing in the best?
Middle of the back three.
So I don't really understand that. Why are you gonna bring in David Luiz and then play him in a back four when you know he's not good there? Do you know what I mean?
It was cheap.
Thing is as well. With a back three, especially if you got. I know Terry don't like a back three, right? But a back three enables you to play Lacazette and Aubameyang up top together, right? For one, you got Rob Holding and David Luiz who are good on the ball, so either one of them could drop into midfield if needs be, right? And bring the ball out. Because in the back three, what you've got your centre back who goes practically up to the halfway line with the ball, right? You know, you got your wing backs creating the width. It just means there's no place for Pepe. But who cares?
Yeah,
no, Pepe can still play in there though. Pepe can
in the
exactly. Yeah. So you can mix up any way you want, but then that's the thing with Emery. He's just too stubborn for me. To be fair, he's too stubborn. He wants to prove a point. Same thing with Ozil. He wants to prove that point. But he wants the same thing with Xhaka. He wants to prove that point. But it's going to be his downfall. And to be fair, the earlier we sack him and get in a proper manager, a proper progressive manager, Nagelsmann, my number one is Ten Hag, Ajax manager. If you throw 10 million at Ajax, you get him, then you'll see the progressive football that we actually could be playing with the team we have and the squad we have. You've got Allegri. Even going to Jose Mourinho, as so many people don't like him, but then into the fact that for defensively we're shambles, and I'd rather have a manager that can actually fix us defensively, and then we still play attacking football. When it was Real Madrid manager, they scored the most goals in the league when they won the league. So it's not a thing where and got the most points. So it's not a thing where Jose is going to come in, we're going to be parking the bus. No, we'll play smart attacking football and we'll play that's it. And when it is to win games, he'll win games. And I still think we'll win games playing good because we have the players that can play good. But Emery, we have to remember, Emery was a manager that got sacked from PSG. He wasn't a manager that was doing well.
And he doesn't. Sorry, he doesn't. He absolutely doesn't like creative players. The thing, what's happening with Özil, he done with Neymar, he done with Ben Arfa, PSG. He's done this through his career. He does not like. Basically, I think he sees them as lazy. Instead of looking at what they're best at and what they can create and what they bring to the table, he thinks they're lazy, and he doesn't like that. So his stance is to just leave them at the team. You're not playing for me.
You know what? When we got Leicester in a couple of weeks away, Leicester are going to actually tear us to shreds. You know that?
Oh man.
Leicester are going to tear us to shreds.
The thing is, Sonny, is that Arsenal's biggest problem, the last sort of 4 or 5 years with Wenger, and since we've had Emery, is that we are too predictable. I say this all the time. Terry from the Terrace said it the other night when he was on. He was saying exactly the same thing that I do every week. We're too predictable. And what's the Sheffield United manager? Is it Chris Wilder?
Right, Terry, please. Yeah. All right, did you see that? Right, Chris Wilder before the game started.
Yeah, he's just what I was say?
They asked him, didn't they?
Yeah.
What are you going to do? Well, we know Arsenal are going to do this. We know they're going to do that. So we're going to counter that by doing this. We're going to. He felt that confident to actually come out and say he knows what we're going to do.
Exactly. He knew how to win the game before it even started. Yeah. He told Arsenal, he told Emery, he told the backroom staff, he told the players exactly how Sheffield United was going to play, how we was going to play. It was easy. This is what I keep saying. We are so predictable and so easy to play against. That is what our biggest problem is.
Did you see that caption on Twitter when they had like the 15, 16 passes?
Yeah.
Round the back, and then they lost the ball.
Yeah.
That was you know the circus music.
But you know what though, right, guys? Right, just to play devil's advocate a little bit, right? Do you think? Don't get me wrong, right? It's Emery's time's done, right? But if we look at the bigger picture, are these players good enough? I said the other day on the podcast, right? We have got a good squad. On paper,
Diesel, that's a very good question. Let's just read what David
are
has
they
to
good
say.
enough?
David's a Sheffield United fan. Thanks for watching, David. To be honest with David, Sheffield United, mate, I'll tell you something. Fantastic side. Yeah. I think they're going to start this year comfortably. You know what? I think they were a joy to watch the other night. You know, they made Arsenal look well. I'll say they made us look average. We are average. But David says, as a Blade, I never felt as though we were in trouble. Any trouble apart from the Pepe miss. It was relaxing watching you go backwards and sideways, and that's not the Arsenal I'd love to watch. Arsenal used to be everyone's second favourite team. You know, they're not anymore. Go on, Diesel.
No, I was just going to say, right, because I look back, right, and don't get me wrong, I know it was obviously in the past. It's a whole new era now. But back then, we had men. I watched this game, right, the other night with Sheffield United, right, and you see them in the tunnel coming out. It's like little boys against men.
Yeah.
You know, we had men. When I think about, you know, in the era of like Vieira and Petit, you know, them players, right, would look along the to the like opposition in the tunnel and basically say, look, how do you want to play today, lads? Do you want to if you want to play football, we'll play football. Yeah. You want to mix it, we'll mix it. You tell us how you want to play, and we'll do it. Now, the team we've got now, it's like scared little boys. No one is scared of Arsenal anymore.
Yeah, well, Roy Keane said it best, didn't he? He said it best the other day. He said all this cuddling shit in the tunnels and they're shaking hands with each other and saying, how's your mum, how's your dad, and all that rubbish. Do you know what I mean? You're going out war, basically. I
just want to give a shout out to Curtis. Curtis Shaw TV. If anyone hasn't subscribed to him, please go subscribe to him. Is the other member of the boards and Curtis Hotshot partnership for AFTVFC. check out Curtis's channel and also check his show out, which I believe is on a Thursday, I believe, on AFTV as well. Yeah, check out Curtis Shaw TV.
It talks a lot of sense, Curtis. I like him, man. Talks a lot of sense.
You know, I think if you guys are gonna say Emery's defensive, okay, but then when you bring up managers like Ancelotti, Mourinho, they're defensive also, and I just don't get.
No, Emery's not defensive. Emery's not defensive.
Eddie.
You see from Emery.
Very good point, Eddie. Very good point.
Even his Seville squad, every team he's been at, is apart bar PSG because they're in a league of their own in France. Exactly. Seville squad always had the most shots against their team. No part of him is defensive. Nothing is defensive about him, and that's what everybody thought. Everybody thought he was going to come in and fix the defense. Nope.
But do you want attacking football, or do you just want a direction?
Hold on. Let's look at Man City. Do Man City have the best defense in this league?
No, they don't.
Honestly,
we actually have a better set of defenders than they do.
But then, as a team,
right now they don't have none. Right now, on paper,
it's like we're getting their team. Don't talk rubbish.
Get out of here right now. Who they have?
Even company.
Hold on. Don't miss the point.
Let's go. Man City's defense and Arsenal defense. Okay.
No. I think that's even. Come on. There's no. Once everyone's fit.
Come on. None of our players. Hold
on. Once everybody's fit and getting. Yeah, they're injured. Once everybody's fit, none of our players will get into that team. That's one thing.
I'd rather have Man City's midfielders in defence. As they've got now, than our central defenders, what we've got now.
But you want to be able to have that, Sonny, because the excuse would be they're all too small. Because that's all we hear from Vieira. Vieira's too small to be a defensive midfielder. That's all I hear. And I say about it.
Hold on, let me finish off my point. All I'm saying is, Man City don't have the the best defense in the league. I would say potentially Liverpool have the best defense in the league. But even Man United have conceded less goals than Man City. But my point I'm trying to say, as an attacking team, you can actually still set up defensively. Man City concede one of the fewest amount of shots on their goal. Ederson doesn't really have to do much in the game, and that's because the structure of the team is set up that once they lose the ball, they try and win it back early. They actually have plans. They understand how to defend. Right. But with Arsenal, we don't have that. We lose the ball, and as I said, when we defend as a 4, so many spaces. I watched that Aston Villa. Go rewatch the Aston Villa match. It was just crazy. Yeah, it was crazy.
Arsenal tried to play defensive against Liverpool, right? Arsenal tried to play defensive against Liverpool, yeah. with a diamond, yeah. Arsenal played a diamond because the idea was they was going to nullify Liverpool's fullbacks, yeah. And what they done, instead of playing counter-attacking football, they was hitting 60, 70-yard balls for over the top for 2 greyhounds to chase, yeah.
Yeah.
What Arsenal should have done, if Emery had any nous at all, Arsenal should have set up as a flat 4-4-2. Right? Yeah. You have the wingers on each side, Pepe and Saka, right? If it was Pepe and Saka was playing that game, you'd have them playing in a reverse role to nullify Liverpool's fullbacks, and then at least when you counter attack, you've got your wingers pushing forward, and also you've got your 2 up front. You don't play 60, 70-yard balls over the top and hope they get it.
No, exactly.
But getting back to the players, you think the players are not good enough to get top 4? Because I feel like you can criticize the manager as much as you want, but one thing I would
all I'm saying is a lot of Arsenal fans, right, at the moment on social media, right, wherever you look, right, it's all Emery out, Emery out. I'm one of them fans who I do agree with that. I do agree. Right, I do agree that obviously Emery's a lot to blame, right? But I'm sick and tired of these players getting a pass. Right, these players. I look at the players and I think, do you know what? Everyone says, "Oh, if we had who's that centre back at Napoli? What's his name? Koulibaly, right? If we got him, our defence is so." No, it's not. Deluded Guna said it. It's got to a point now. It doesn't matter who comes in. It's not going to fit. It's the way we play. We have no style of play. Right, what you said about Man City, right? That was a tact that Guardiola brought with him from Barcelona, right? You lose the ball, you've got 7 seconds to win the ball back, and you hunt in packs. Now, when Emery first came in, right, we were pressing. Where's that gone? Why don't we press anymore?
Going on the players, what you just said, Diesel. For me, I do think I think we have got some great players. I think if we had a great manager in, that our players would be playing 1,000% better. The reason why I don't think they are at the moment is because of the Ozil situation. I mean, if you go back to the final when we lost 4-1, we got annihilated. Ozil turned around to him and basically told him to fuck off. This is where all the problems come from with Ozil and Emery. And now Emery's basically put the gauntlet down and said, look, if you don't all fucking do as I say, basically, you'll all end up like Ozil. And this is what the problem is. And that's why no one stood up when he made Saka captain.
See, Terry, right? That's just the one thing I promise you that I disagree with you on. I can't help it because I cannot stand Ozil. The only thing I agree with Emery on is the way he's frozen him out. He's here for the money. He doesn't love. That's just my view. I don't like him.
Diesel. Forget about Ozil's attitude. Ozil's attitude, he's let himself down, yeah, with his work rate and this, that, and the other, right? Forget about his attitude and his work rate. Name me a better midfielder, a creative midfielder at Arsenal than Ozil.
Ceballos.
No chance.
Sonny, I get what you're saying, right? But what if 3 people, Raul, Emery, and I think Mertesacker, they've all come out and said he's not giving it in training, right? It's not to the required level. Now, this is a man who apparently loves the club, right? If you're not playing, you'll be breaking your back to get into this team, right? The way he walked off in the Europa League final, for me, was the final straw. That showed me that was a man who doesn't care. Forget his talent or whatever he's got. I want players who want to play for us.
Let me put the other side of the argument across. If you was at work, right, your boss didn't like you, right?
Yeah, basically.
And you at work, you was creative. He's not letting you express the creativity that your skills show, right? What would you do? Would you get pissed off?
I'll look for a new
If
job.
I've given him reason to, if I show it in flashes, but on the whole, I'm a lazy so-and-so, then
Yeah, but guys, this is not the same. This is football. Do you know what I mean? And one example I can give you is this: Pogba has always been criticized, or he's been criticized for his work rate
I
sometimes.
was going to go to that.
Yeah, and one thing you have to realize is this: when you have such talented, creative players, yeah, say what you want about Pogba or Ozil or whoever, they can get the ball to the strikers. Do you know what I mean? Right? Now, one thing you have to realize is this: a lot of the time, these guys are not gonna work defensively. So what do? France done it so well in the World Cup. They put Matuidi on the left sometimes, yeah, in a 4-4-2. Or sometimes they'll even put it in a 3. They'll have Matuidi and N'Golo Kante, two very selfless players who will work, and it will allow the creative players to go forward and do their job. Right, the two creative players were mainly Mbappe and Pogba. Right, Pogba did step up defensively, especially against Belgium in that World Cup, as we saw. Like, you know what I mean, he was tracking back a lot, and probably their biggest test in that World Cup was Belgium. But you know, when you give players that freedom to do what they want, they're more likely to come back and actually do a job for you as well. But when you're always suffocating them and getting onto them and trying to change them, it's not gonna work. Football is not just like our normal 9-to-5 job.
You know what? Archie made a very good point, right? Who cares about work rate if you're just running and not tracking? Guendouzi has got a lot of work rate. Doesn't track. He don't track runners. Joe Willock's got work rate. He don't track runners. Xhaka, believe it or not, Xhaka's got work rate. He don't track anybody.
Yeah.
Torreira's got work rate. He don't track no one.
Can I just?
Tobias has got work rate. He don't track anybody.
Exactly.
That's unfair on Joe Willock, man. We know Joe Willock goes back and digs in.
Yeah. Can I just make a fact on Ozil quickly? I mean, does everyone on the panel class an assist a goal?
Well, it pretty much.
Let's not talk about shots and crosses now.
No. What I'm saying is, an assist is basically a goal scored, isn't it? So what I'm saying is, if he was a forward, right, his appearances in the Premier League is 167 appearances. He scored 32 goals and he's had 52 assists. So if you add them together, that's 84. So that's basically 1 in 2 he's doing. He's creating or scoring a goal in 2 games.
Now, all right, I'm an Ozil fan. Now putting how many games that he's missed, right? Well, and putting how many big games he's gone missing in.
Yeah, exactly. Do that.
No. And this is the thing, yeah. Just to add on Ozil, yeah. I think that is as well. He's created more clear-cut chances in the lowest minutes that he's played this season than any other player in our team. That's one Ozil fact. And I totally agree with Broads there, with the fact that you have to let your players shine. If you want Darren Fletchers in your team that will run around, cool. Let's go buy a team of Darren Fletchers. You're not going to win nothing. Yeah. People, and this is the thing, yeah. Again, people are trying to think, okay, yeah, work rate. Oh, let me go to let's look at Liverpool again. You've got Klopp that has that high press, everything like that. Again with Pep, but then it's not just about work rate; it's about that creativity. You need that player that can unlock things. And as Balls is saying, sometimes you have to get them selfless players around your creative players to actually get the best out of them, so they can be free and they can. For all of the work rate and leaving Ozil out, this team has not progressed in any way or form. Yeah, exactly. We're saying we're less attacking. We're not actually scoring more goals. We're not creating more chances. So for all of the things that you're saying, that okay, cool. Leave Ozil out. Leave Ozil doesn't work. He doesn't run. He doesn't do this. Come on, as I said, yeah. Ozil is supposed to be our luxury player. For a luxury player, that's what you have to do. That was how he was when we signed him. He hasn't changed. Can anyone tell me, well, the first season he was running up and down and now he's changed? No, he's been the same player every single year. But then the thing with Arsene Wenger under him, he tried to get people around him. And this is why I say that with me, when Ozil's best time at Arsenal was when he had Cazorla behind him. Because Cazorla
That's right.
Because Zola could actually create something from deep, so Ozil didn't have to drop deep to
That's what Ceballos is, though, Eddie. Ceballos is the Cazorla. We want
100%, and why it baffles me is because Ceballos now is a full international with Spain, but then for Arsenal he's on the bench. If you leave Ozil out of the team, but then you still have to play Ceballos. Why do you think we're getting someone from Real Madrid on loan, looking at trying to get him signed permanently, and you're leaving him on the bench?
It's going to be more game time at Real Madrid.
This is a question for all of you guys. This is a question for all of you guys and everyone in the comments as well. Yeah. Are our youngsters good enough? Guendouzi, Willock, Saka, Saka.
Martinelli.
I'm not even putting Martinelli in because he's not part of the Premier League. He don't really feature in the Premier League.
Nelson.
Not even. He's obviously showed he's not good enough, right? Okay, let's put in Martinelli and Nelson as well. Are our youngsters good enough for Arsenal to be playing this attractive football we want to play?
Yeah, I think they can come in. Not every youngster's gonna come in and be fantastic or hit the ground running like Rashford did. You know what I mean? But even Rashford had a little bit of a dip, even in his first season or so. But I feel like it's just about. I think they don't know what they're meant to be doing. Some of them. Do you know what I mean? Like,
all right. Which one of our youngsters have really stood out?
No role models. There's no role models.
Which one of our youngsters have really stood out for you?
For me, it's Guendouzi. I'm a very, very big fan of Guendouzi. I know he was.
Don't even put Guendouzi in the same category as the other guys you named.
Yeah,
Guendouzi's been consistent playing for
What are you talking about, man? The geezer couldn't get in the second division French team two seasons ago. What are you talking about?
People develop at different speeds. This kid has been in the team consistently for 2 years. He's at a different level when it comes to experience and game time.
Hashtag was your Monday. Hashtag was your Monday. Hashtag was Guendouzi your Monday.
I think personally that if you look at, obviously, if you like a player, you're only going to see the good side in that player. Same as Ozil. If you don't like him, then all you see is the bad stuff that he does. With Guendouzi, I'm half and half at the moment. I think when he's not playing with Xhaka, I think he's a totally different player, and I think he's awesome. But when he's playing with Xhaka, for some reason, he can't play football.
Terry?
Off the ball, he is useless. Honestly, he is off the ball. He can't header a ball to save his life. He can't track back. He is so weak off the ball. But when he's on the ball and he's running forward and he's doing all them things, he looks fantastic. But if you actually sit there and watch the game and watch him off the ball, especially Monday night, he was letting players run past him and he was running at a mile an hour to get back.
And he takes too long on the ball as well.
Okay. I'm not talking about his negatives or positives. I'm just saying, based on experience and the time that he's played, he shouldn't be put in the same bracket as other young players, because the other young players are coming straight from the academy into the team where he's already been playing for a full year.
Coming through an academy and all, it doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me, the kid. If he's good enough, obviously he was, because he was playing in the French division out there. No matter what league it is, he still made it as a professional footballer. He's still coming through them ranks.
I'm not defending him. I'm saying judge Guendouzi at a higher level than you would Willock or Saka. That's what I'm saying. Willock and Saka should be judged on a lower level than Guendouzi right now, because they've played less and they're coming from a lower level, where he might have come from the second division France, but he's playing against men, where Saka and these guys were not playing against men.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh, Chilling. He needs time. Listen, right, Terry, right?
Yeah, go on, mate.
Going back to what I said, right, about, and it's, I'm not saying they are, I'm saying it's an argument to maybe have if you're playing devil's advocate, right? You just said, right, Guendouzi 2 years ago, right, was in the French second division and wasn't a regular in that team. He's gone from that to becoming,
Arsenal's main
let's
player.
be real, our best midfielder, right? A couple of games where he's looked around and went, you know what, give me the ball. We ain't losing today. I'm going to make something happen. Now, going from that to one of our main men, does that not show you that maybe, is there an argument to be had that maybe the quality of our squad isn't as great as what people think?
Yeah.
Surely there's not.
I know exactly what you're saying there, but I personally think it's just down to the manager myself. And that's what I'm saying. If Xhaka weren't with him, I think he would be miles ahead than where he is now.
Go on, Bolt.
Okay, look,
Yeah.
It's the manager.
Hang on, Tel. Go on, Bolt.
Sorry, Bruce.
Yeah, sorry guys. Look, what I'd say is this year, it doesn't really matter where you're coming from. You've heard the saying, it doesn't matter where you're coming from, it matters where you're going, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, for example, N'Golo Kante was playing in
2 years.
French as well. Do you know what I mean? French division as well. Like, it doesn't matter. But one thing I would say is this: Guendouzi is not the best player technically. We know this, but you can count on the guy to give his all pretty much in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes
I
it's
like
not
him.
enough. Do you know what I mean? Sometimes it's not enough. Like, I remember Scott Parker had a brilliant season one day. All he was really doing was running around, did it? Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I mean? He got into the England team and whatnot. But that gives us that. You need those sort of players around you. That gives us that boost. You know what I mean? You see, Guendouzi, he's young, he's energetic, he's enthusiastic. Do you know what I mean? Come on, let's go. I think the blame has to be passed on to the manager to some extent, where you're saying, Perry, with team selection. Do you know what I mean? Guendouzi cannot play next to Xhaka. I agree. And I think the players do need to look at themselves sometimes and say, wow, look, this guy's coming from nowhere. He's coming from the mud, really, and we're coming from somewhere, and he's showing us up. You know, if I was, let's think of it like this quickly, If you had Tony Adams in that team, you had Vieira, you had Henry, Perez, you know what I mean? Even probably Jeremy Aliadier, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Gilberto. Men. That's what I'm saying. Men.
You know what's missing?
Men.
What's missing is the connection to the fans, in the sense that we need more players who actually know how to communicate with the fans and get and understand us. Because Aubameyang, yes, he understands us, but he's not British, in the sense that he hasn't grown up with the club. He's had other clubs. Right now, we have an opportunity with the young guys. We have to nurture them. They're going to have days where they play bad. They're going to have days where they do good. They're young kids. And when it comes to Guendouzi coming from the second division, Conte, you said it, Brad. He came from the second division, and in 2 years, he was the Premier League player of the season. So don't give me that. He came from the second division.
Forget about Arsenal's invincibles, yeah?
Go on, the kid.
let's go back to the midfield we used to have. Rosicky, when he weren't injured, Wilshere, Cazorla, Ramsey. Would any of our midfield now get into that midfield? Another player, Fabregas, Nasri.
Class.
Which one of those players in our midfield now is better than any of those players?
None.
Any of those players better than Wilshere and Ramsey?
None.
When they're playing
But
well.
we didn't appreciate them when we had them.
We didn't appreciate them.
We made fun of Coquelin. We made fun of Rosowski.
We didn't have a forward line, and we didn't have a defence again.
Yeah.
Now we've got the forward line. We haven't got no defence. We had a
I-
midfield before. We didn't have no defence. We didn't have no forward.
Sonny,
Go on, Andy.
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, John, let me just quickly. I was just gonna say, like, if obviously you said don't look at the Invincibles, but I just take it back there. Let's look at our greatest, like, youngsters that's actually come through. Let me just pick the two.
Ashley Cole,
Fabregas, not even Ashley Cole, Fabregas and Wilshere. We're talking about midfielders.
Oh, sorry, yeah, go on.
Who do they have around them when they were going through?
Exactly.
Fabregas had big players in the midfield.
Class players.
Gilberto Silva, Edu. They had those players that you can come in and you look at them, you see them train, bam. If I'm in trouble, who do I go to? Even Wilshere as well. At that time, he had the Rosickis, he had the Calebs, he had the Gilberto Silvas in his older ages. Even Henry in there as someone to look to. If anything goes wrong, I know I can look to these guys. You lot are not reliant on me to achieve something. Obviously, because they were world-class players, they had that level where you know what, you can rely on me at that young age. But then we still had the big players around them to say, okay, you know what? Let me do my job. You got Thierry Henry, all these guys there. Let me do my job. You got the Ed dudes, you got the Perez. Let me do my job, and then you can come in and have your fun as you're learning in the team. If you look at our setup now, Guendouzi, someone said to me, I said I want a midfield three of Ceballos, Torreira, and Ozil. And one guy said to me, "Oh, Guendouzi's our best midfielder. How can you leave him out?" I'm shocked. And I was like, "That's the problem. That's the problem with Arsenal now. Josie, very good player, but he should be a player that you're bringing in, bringing out because he's got the energy. You can play him sometimes, he can start sometimes, but really and truly, he should not be a starter at his age. And he is a good player. I will say he's a good player. I won't say he's great. And you can see that he's good because even the French manager called him up when Pogba was injured for the international. Obviously, for you to get a call up for the world champions, you have to have some sort of quality around you. But then again, he doesn't have anyone in our midfield now that he can actually say, who do I look up to? Who do I say? Okay, well, I'm not having
Eddie,
who can I rely on?
the Man United class of '92, the youngsters, what came in, they were good enough, right? Our youngsters, I'm sorry, but they're not good enough.
But that's only ever happened once.
All of them.
Yeah, but
all of them are not good enough. Ceballos is not good enough. I'm sorry, but Ceballos is not good enough. He played one good game against Burnley. Other than that, he's done nothing.
But he hasn't been played in his position.
That's the other problem. That is the other problem.
He's been playing better than all our.
No. Hold on. Hey, the kid Saka. Let's compare all of our wingers to, let's say, Callum Hudson-Odoi. Different class, mate.
Who do you rather have?
Different class.
Who do you rather have? Who do you rather have?
Youngsters are good.
Who do you rather have? Eddie, who do you rather have? Hudson-Odoi.
Of course, 100% Hudson-Odoi. There's no two ways. Hudson-Odoi looks like a man. Hudson-Odoi looks like a man. Our guys still look like kids. Unfortunately,
But when you compare our guys to Chelsea guys, what you got to realize about some of those Chelsea guys, they've been sent out on loan. Like Abraham's been sent out on loan. When you got Mason Mount's been sent out on loan. You know what I mean?
Not Hudson-Odoi.
Hudson-Odoi hasn't been sent out on loan. Yes, he's 18.
Okay, what about Sancho as well? Look at Sancho again.
Sancho went to a different league, mate. People.
Nelson
was killing it out there. Don't forget that. Nelson was killing it out there.
Nelson played up to Christmas. They didn't play a game after that.
I'll tell you one young player. One young player who hasn't gone on loan to anybody, who is better than all of our Arsenal midfield put together. Phil Foden.
I don't think he's better.
I don't see the hype. Why is he always hype? He doesn't play good. I need to see him play.
He is. I'm sorry, but he is.
You think so?
I need to see him play a game.
I think Foden is well, we're not here to talk about him, but I don't think he's better than Ceballos or whatever. Look at this. Let me raise one point. How many players have actually left Arsenal under the Wenger era? And no one's really left under Emery. But how many have left and actually won trophies? Like literally,
all of them.
You know what I mean?
All of them.
Doesn't matter if it's the World Cup. Doesn't matter if it's the Europa League. Doesn't matter if it's the Carling Cup, whatever you call it now, Carabao. You know what I mean? Yeah, whatever. And you know exactly. And one thing I would say is that I think at Arsenal, I say it all the time on AFTV as well, is a mentality problem. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, this whole, I think they need to put up a poster or something in the change room. Yeah, and we've all probably done the little Emirates tour and seen how lovely it's like a 5-star spa in there, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, and you can get
like a wellness spa, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what I mean? You can get battered and then go and chill in the hot tub, you know what I mean, with all your mates. But the thing is, like, we need to just instill some culture into the club again, do you know what I mean? Which Tony Adams was the personification of. Do you know what I mean? That's why they might have a statue outside the stadium. You know, you need to go there and think, wow, I'm in the Emirates. There's 60,000 people paying the most money probably in the world to come and watch me in terms of ticket prices, right? But there's no way you're letting me draw 2-2 to Watford or lose 1-0 to Sheffield United. You know what I mean? There's no way. And the thing is, Highbury was a different place. But
I prefer Highbury.
You know what? Amu Arnav. Amu's saying, let's not target our youngsters just because we've pushed them into the team so early on, right? The manager's playing under 19 team in Premier League. My God. Bruv, you have to target them because they're the ones who are in the top fucking team, man.
Yeah, they're there.
They're the ones in the team.
You got to take it.
How can you not talk about them? They're in the team. You know what? Unai Emery is the first to turn around after a loss, and blame the youngsters.
Yep.
He's the first one to say they're young. He's blaming the youngsters.
Yep.
You know, I never told Raul to go and not sign any. Even Ceballos is only 20 years old. I never told Raul, who everyone was lording over, to go and buy a load of youngsters in the transfer window. That's what they chose to do.
Even better.
But you can buy youngsters, but you need to have that experience with them. That's the issue. You can have youngsters, you can buy youngsters, but that old age thing where they said about Arsenal with our young team when we're trying to win the Premier League, you can't win the league with youngsters. And unfortunately, we did not have the right experience to go with our youth, and we're seeing that again today. We've got good youth players, but then we do not have the right mentality.
Addy, the problem is our club captain. He's the one. He's not my captain. He's not my captain.
Yeah, I don't think he's anyone's captain.
He's the one. He's the one who's supposed to dictate where Guendouzi goes, dictate what Torreira's doing, dictate what Sabas is doing. He's the man. He's the man in the middle. He's the club captain, and he's the man. He's 27 years old.
Boys, right? So can I ask a question, right? Have you ever wondered, right, why the likes of Adams, Vieira, legends who have, their statues are outside our stadium? Why have they? I know the answer. I know it's Wenger, right? Yeah. Why have they never been? I look at Tony Adams especially. Why not bring that man back and put him in the backroom staff? What?
How can you though?
The rugby league pays more money.
I can bring Adams back though. Seriously, Adams has been all around the world coaching and managing, and he's been shit.
He's rugby league manager now.
He talks shit. He talks shit, and his record is shit.
No. Football.
Let me tell you why. Yeah.
Not just that, but in general, Eds. You know what I mean? Some of our legends.
Let me tell you why.
I totally agree. I think the problem is with Arsenal, right? The biggest problem is with Arsenal, like everyone's been saying, especially what you said, Diesel, was that we've got no men in the team no more. And what I mean by that is that if you go back to when we was undefeatable, when we went the whole season undefeated, if you look, if a Pepe come into that squad then, it wouldn't have mattered if it took him 15, 20, 25 games to get in and get his confidence in, because you had Bergkamp there, you had Henry there, you had...
Terry, come on, man, come on. You got Lacazette's a man. Aubameyang's a man. Kolasinac is a man. Xhaka is a man. David Luiz is a man. Socrates is a man. You can't say we've got no men in the team. There's seven there.
Not the same mentality.
They're not men.
Not the same mentality.
They won't put their bodies on the line and put their
When Arsene Wenger came in, the board were mostly guys who've been experiencing the Premier League for a long time and been around the Premier League. David Dean and all these guys, they know what they're doing. They're English guys. They're Premier League guys. Right now, over the past few years, we've had guys coming in that don't know anything about the Premier League. It's going to take them a little bit of time to get used to it. I feel like, if anything, maybe if we do change the manager, don't go get this expensive manager. Get a guy like Eddie Howe, who knows the Premier League. You guys might disagree with me, but
we need an elite manager, right? Sees a table, right? With Klopp and Guardiola on the table. We want a manager who can sit beside them and they don't look out of place. That's what I want. And then elite.
Everybody sometimes starts somewhere.
We've been downgraded.
Everybody starts somewhere.
Arsenal are not a club where you start. Arsenal should be a club. Arsenal should be a club. Is when you've already started somewhere and you're at the top of your game.
Okay, who in the board has ever dealt with the Premier League? These guys have dealt with Barcelona and Brazil, but what do they know about the Premier League?
But this is the thing, yeah. Who in the Liverpool board knew anything to do with the Premier League? None of them, but they still got Jurgen Klopp because they knew that this is a guy that if he actually implements his philosophy in the team, we can go somewhere.
Well, look, the difference. Sorry to cut you. The difference is this year, Liverpool went and got a guy that's been to a Champions League final and won the league with Dortmund. We went and got a guy that won the Europa League, which is not bad, but it doesn't really show any intention or ambition, right? When Wenger left and we're talking about getting Allegri, I don't think we even tried to get him, really, did we? Do you know what I mean? We just thought, you know what, Emery, he does things on the cheap. A lot of it is based on finance and financial decision. And to be honest, this is a financial game, right? You got to be winning in the financial league table sometimes as well. Do you know what I mean? As much as we love to say Guardiola is one of the best managers from the past decade, this guy spent probably £1 billion on his team. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is the game now. You got to get that mix. It's new school. Wenger was very, very bad at identifying that the game has moved on financially. Do you know what I mean? Remember last time I said he triggered Suarez's release clause with £1. Do you know what I mean? Like silly things like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Anyone that comes into Arsenal needs to understand that you do need to invest in the transfer market sometime to get any players that are going to be serious. Otherwise, you're going to keep getting players like 80 million. Don't get me wrong, 80 million is a lot of money, but it's not like relatively speaking now, it's not actually that much anymore. Do you know what I mean? Whereas if you went and got somebody from a good club, you know what I mean? Like not really trying to take players to develop, but taking players that are pretty much ready made, which maybe Arsenal do need, right? It's gonna cost you 100 million or not.
When was the last time? When was the last time on the panel that we went out and bought a world-class defender? Name him.
Sal Campbell was the last one.
We didn't buy him.
It was last.
Okay, Colo.
He was midfield. We converted.
Yeah,
If he wasn't free, we wouldn't have got him.
Exactly. When was the last Take Sol Campbell out of the situation. When was the last time we went out and bought a class defender?
William Saliba.
You know one thing I would say as well though. Why didn't we get Gary Cahill on the free? And
Why did we get him when we
banter, right, bro?
we were supposed to get him when he left Bolton and he went to Chelsea?
Oh, come on. The Arsenal fan base didn't want Gary Cahill.
No one wanted Gary Cahill.
They didn't want Gary Cahill, and they didn't want the other one.
This is what makes me laugh. Like some of these Arsenal fans, it's like they're. Who are we? It's like a lot of them are snobs. We don't want Gary. Look at what we got.
I didn't want Gary Cahill.
You know
That's a stopgap.
No way. I didn't want Gary Cahill, and I didn't want the other one. Who was the one who was at Leicester? Who used to play for United? Johnny Evans. I didn't want Johnny Evans either.
Johnny Evans is Leicester's best defender.
He is Leicester's best defender, but
no, it's Yanku's Leicester's best defender.
He is now. He is now. Yeah.
We could have got him. He's another one else we could have got.
Another one we tried to
get. Yeah. Just see someone he wants a battle. Our defenders, nah.
If we're going to talk about players that we could have got, we could be naming
the best team in the
world.
Okay, getting back to that, why don't we buy Premier League proven players? Are they too expensive?
We haven't got the money. Going on to tomorrow's match, right? Diesel, what's your team for tomorrow?
All right, so I'd go Martinez in goal. I do like him. Tierney. No, not Tierney, because I know if he plays tomorrow, he won't play against Palace. So, no, I don't want him playing. I want Kolasinac. All right? Kolasinac, as far as I'm concerned, this is Kolasinac's last game. So, play him tomorrow. Yeah? Right back, I would play Chambers again, but with a view of Bellerin playing against Palace, right? So, Chambers, I would play Mustafi. I would play Mustafi, and I would play Holding and Mustafi. Let's be honest, whoever we play, we're playing nobodies here, right? We're going to spank 3, 4, 5 nil. Right? Us guys on there, right? We're going to spank them, yeah?
What's your midfield?
Midfield, I would...
Before you name the rest of your team, I'm different than you because I'll tell you why. I wouldn't play all those players because I want them players to go out and spank this lot 7-0, right? And to say, I'm playing on Sunday.
But that won't make no difference, Sonny. You won't.
No, exactly. It won't. They can make the biggest statement ever. It doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. Emery's too safe.
So what's your midfield? I'll say, if they wouldn't pick the same team they did against Sheffield United, it'd be a close game.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be.
So what's your midfield?
So I'd play Willock. I'd play Smith Rowe. Is he fit? I'd throw him in if he's fit. I'd play Saka. And up front, I'd play Martinelli.
Who on the wing?
Martinelli. So Saka on the left. Yeah, there's Saka on the left, on the right. Oh, yeah, on the right. Sorry. I won't play Pepe. I'd rest him. On the right, I'd play... Did I say Smith Rowe? If he's fit.
You're missing
Normally-
somebody else in midfield.
Who am I missing?
You
I'll play Sabas.
okay? So who's
He's got to play. I know it's the Europa League, but I want to see this kind of run.
You haven't got a defensive midfielder in that.
We don't need one.
Okay.
Let's
Balls.
go all out attack. It's Vitoria.
What's your team?
For me, well, I can't lie. I want to say that the Europa League to me doesn't really matter because like we need to build more for. Even if we win the Europa League this year, next year what's gonna happen? Do you know what I mean? This is Arsenal, but let me stay on topic. Yeah, I'd say probably you put in Martinez then. You give a few people a little run out. Do you know what I mean? Like maybe you can put on the right. I don't know. If you really want, you can put Maitland-Niles on the right, or maybe you could put Bellerin. If we're gonna go with two at the back, you can probably put Holding and Chambers. Left, you're gonna have to give Tierney some minutes. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why he's not really playing. Centre mids, is Xhaka gonna play? Maybe. So then you're gonna put maybe Torreira next to him, or Willock. Centre mid. Attacking mid, maybe you put Ceballos, Saka on the left, Martinelli in the center. On the right, Pepe. Like, yeah, for me. But for me, listen, for me, I won't lie to you. I just feel like it's just this game. I know we came on here to talk about it, but this game tomorrow is quite pointless because we've got a lot of red flags in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? So I'm thinking he better just play a majority Premier League team, you know, like a team that he'll go over and let them get minutes, let them get used to winning a game. Do you know what I mean? For the meantime, and then we go into Palace with that same core of that team, and then hopefully win it.
Interesting. Both of you two said the same thing. Addy's nodding, so Addy's probably in agreement as well. Addy, what's your team, bruv?
No, I'm not in agreement. I'm agreeing with what Wood is saying. Yeah, what he's trying to say, because just on the end of that, he was saying that we should have played a Premier League team, and that's one thing I didn't like about Arsene Wenger when we was in the league, Europa League in his last season, because if Lacazette played in that, let's say for example, he would have scored 15 goals in that. Have confidence. You'll go into the Premier League still banging goals. That's one thing. But yeah, onto my team. It's Martinez in goal. Me now, I'll play Bellerin half the match, so he can actually get a run out or even 60 minutes, knowing that he's going to be playing on the weekend. This is Bellerin's time to actually say, bang, I'm going to be playing on the weekend. You do 60 minutes full speed, and then we go just to get that match fitness in there. Left back Kolasinac. My two centre backs would actually be Socrates and Mustafi. Now in the midfield, again, I'll probably do the same thing with Torreira, with Bellerin. I'll give him a run out, knowing that Torreira, you're playing on the weekend. I'll have Torreira, I'll have Willock in there, and then I would have Ozil in the 10. My formation 4-2-3-1. On the wings now, I'll have Saka out there. I would actually have Pepe out there again, boost that confidence. I'll say you're a 60-minute guy, 70-minut guy, go run riot, and then you'll
boost
play.
Confidence or destroy even more.
Boost his confidence so you can go out, destroy all these Vitoria defenders, and then up front I'll have Martinelli. Or to be fair, no, you know what? I'll have Lacazette again. Get some match fitness to actually start the game and then Martinelli, because this thing Martinelli will come on. You know what Martinelli's going to do? He will come on, probably score a hat trick. But you want your first team players to get the minutes that they need. So when they go out on the Sunday, then they can hit the ground running.
The kid.
Okay, so Martinez in goal. I would have Bellerin out there. I would have Holding out there. I would have Mustafi out there and Tierney. So that's my back four plus the goalkeeper. I would have Torreira because he hasn't played much and we need him playing. I would have Ceballos in there. I would have Ozil. That's my midfield. Torreira, Ozil, Ceballos.
That midfield is beautiful. That's my starting midfield Premier League one. Sorry.
So far, the whole team that you picked is the team I'll pick as well so far. Go on.
I would have Lacazette up top. I would have Emil Smith Rowe to play because I feel like Saka played a lot of game time, and on the right I'll put on the left I'll put Martinelli because I think he deserves to play. So that's my full team, and I feel like this team
Who
could
you
have
got
beat
up front?
Sheffield United.
Who you got up front?
Yeah, yes.
Lacazette up top because he
Lacazette.
hasn't played enough.
I actually love that team.
Mine is exactly the same team, apart from your forward three, right? My forward three would be Martinelli on the left, it'd be Pepe on the right, and it'd be Lacazette up top. And that is a team, bar Martinelli, that I would have starting against Crystal Palace as well.
I agree with you.
Right?
I honestly think he plays the better team in the cup games. That's why we have better performance in the cup games.
Yeah.
It's actually depressing.
Terry.
Well, I disagree with a few of you there because obviously I'm old. No, the only reason is I'm old school. So I don't believe in changing a winning side. So no matter what competition you're in, I would play my best side to start off with, try and get out there 4 goals, be 4-0 up at half time, and then start making substitutions.
Based on that, before you give your team,
Yeah.
if we was playing in the Champions League,
Yeah.
they wouldn't be playing two separate teams in each game.
Yeah,
They'll be playing the same players. For the last 4 seasons, the 4 seasons that Arsenal flopped, right? We've had 2 different teams for Europa League and the Premier League. And it hasn't done our Premier League any favours.
No.
Exactly. The rest of these players hasn't done them any favours at all.
No.
It actually hindered us to get.
It's hindered us. Yeah. Go on, Terry.
That's all right. So that's what I mean. I would, because the thing what I don't like and always is that we do this and then we go out against these lesser teams and then we come 1-0 down and then 60, 70th minute he'll bring on 3 of our main players and that's when the injuries will happen. So that's why I don't believe in that way. I'd rather do it the other way or either start them to get 3-4-0 up and then take them off at half time.
Yeah.
So,
just get the game won. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. You know.
So what's your team?
Martinez in goal, Tierney, Holding, Chambers, Bellerin, Torreira as holding midfielder, Ozil, Ceballos, Martinelli on the left, Pepe on the right, Lacazette up front.
You're missing one player, I think.
No, he's got no.
No, you're missing one player.
I've got Martinez in goal, Tierney, Holding, Chambers and Bellerin as me defence.
Oh, yeah.
Torreira as me holding midfielder.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Ozil, Ceballos, and then Martinelli, Pepe and Lacazette.
Okay. Yeah, I can't argue with that team either. That's the same team that I picked, wasn't it?
You had Mustafa in, I think, and Saka.
No, I didn't put Saka in. I put up front. I put Martinelli, Pepe, and Lacazette. My defence would either be Holding and Mustafi or be Holding and Chambers.
Yeah,
but I still play Tierney and Bellerin because they need minutes.
Yeah.
They need minutes. My midfielder, I'd have Torreira at the base because if he doesn't show what he could do as a DM, he's never going to play there.
But he showed that in the last 2 games in the Europa League.
Score predictions, Terry. Score predictions. Everyone in the comments as well. What's your score predictions?
I'm going to go Arsenal 5, Victoria Station 0.
And everyone's got to come up with a Victoria joke as well. Go on, the kid.
Arsenal 2, Victoria 0. They haven't scored a goal yet, so they're not going to score now.
What's your Victoria joke? You got to come up with a Victoria joke.
Victoria's Secret is not a secret no more.
Okay, cool. Go on.
Oh, you stole my joke.
I know, never mind. That's what I was going to say.
I'm too early.
Go on, Eddie. What's your score prediction?
I think I would say 5-1. Martinelli hat trick. Again, I don't know. I think they'll score for some reason.
They haven't scored yet.
They haven't scored, but it's Arsenal. Whenever people break their records against Arsenal, that's it. All the records always get broken against Arsenal. A team will have 17 matches lost against Arsenal and get their first win. So that's Arsenal.
Where's his Victoria joke?
He's right out.
I'd say.
Bearing in mind our team crest, that's a Victoria joke as well.
I would say, I think we'll concede as well. I think that as well. Maybe we might even concede 2 in it, but I'd say
What do you say?
we'll probably concede 2, but I think it'll probably be realistically like 6-1. So 6 to Arsenal, 1 to Victorian era, whoever they are. But
Yo, what that comment say about picking up speed?
huh?
The comment that said picking up speed?
You're picking up
Yeah,
the
he said your English is picking up.
Get out of here.
You need to have a word with Emery.
Oh,
Lindsay, you translate.
Diesel, what score you're going for?
Right, I've just thought of a Victoria joke, right? So I'm going to go for Arsenal 4, Victoria Sponge.
Hey,
Oh,
hey.
fuck! That's what I was going to say. That's what I was going to say.
I was waiting for a Victoria Beckham joke.
That's another one.
Yeah.
I was watching Fools and Horses, right, where Rodney dates Lady Victoria, the Duke of Marlborough's daughter, and I was going to use that, but that might not have clocked on to a lot of people. So yeah, sorry, Sponge. 4-1.
4-1.
Ricky Pollard.
I'm gonna go 6-0. I'm gonna go 6-0. And you've already beaten you've just done my Victoria jokes. I come up with a Victoria crest, the Arsenal one. Right, okay.
Sorry, son.
That's gone. Let's talk about something else now, right?
Excuses.
Let's talk about something else first.
What, against Victoria? Come on.
Lee Judges, right? Had his interview on AFTV. Very passionate interview.
Yeah,
and I love Lee, right?
He's the best one on this, Sonny.
I love Lee, right? And Robbie said that was a fantastic interview, right? Which it was. Was it any different than what I've been saying?
You know, Robbie's starting to turn. I think.
No, but 1 minute. I said it after we beat Aston Villa. Right? And Robbie put his hand on my shoulder. He started laughing after he stuck for words, and he said, "You know, I respect you, Sonny, but that's ridiculous."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Right? Is it so ridiculous now? I don't think so.
No.
Of course not.
What's it about? Because I didn't see it.
Well, basically, Lee was pointing out how Emery's got to go, and I've been pointing that out for weeks.
Yeah.
I've been pointing that out for weeks.
That's exactly how I feel.
But you hit the nail on the head in one of your tweets, Terry, because what you turned around and said is certain people, when they say something, get listened to, and certain people, when they say get ridiculed.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I said it from day one.
Yeah,
but
I feel exactly the same after the other night when Terry from the Terraces come on, because he was saying, but he says it in a calm way, and because obviously he's got no affiliation with Arsenal or whatever, so it doesn't really matter to him. So he was saying it in a calm way, and he was basically stating everything that I've said since I've been on this show.
When I said on my interview against Aston Villa when we won, I said I've had time to compose myself and to speak rationally.
Yeah.
And I said I'll attack him on Monday. And I
think the issue was everyone had that euphoria. Yes, that is it. But then nobody actually wants to look at stats. Nobody actually wants to look at how we're playing. Nobody actually wants to do that analysis. They just want to live in that bubble of we win, we're happy, we lose, you can't look at football like that. Let's look at the stats. Let's look at actually how we're playing. Look at the whole team. Look at the whole setup. Yeah. And that's even with me. Yeah, I won't even lie to you. I never wanted Emery. You can ask like any of my family. I didn't want Emery even from the day we appointed him because I already knew he was not an elite manager.
You know what? If it's all about delivery, right? And Lee's got better delivery than bloody Uber Eats, right? And UPS and FedEx, right? If it's all about delivery, I'm gonna have to start talking in Brown. You know?
Even the biggest supporter.
I'll say it in Braille. I'll say it in sign language. I'll say it in Turkish. You know, but it must be about delivery.
No, even the biggest supporters of Emery, if he was sacked tomorrow, I doubt that they would say, "Oh, why'd he get sacked?"
Yeah.
A lot of people, even if you're the biggest, most positive person, like I think I'm quite positive, But if Emery got sacked tomorrow and Raul and these guys came on and said he's getting sacked, and we're gonna have an interim manager be Freddie, I don't think anyone would say, where did that happen? How did that happen? Why would they do that? We'd actually be like, yo, they have some balls on them. How did they do that?
You know the funny thing is, yeah. Ask how many Arsenal fans that if we actually got top 4, how many of them would want Emery as a manager next season?
Exactly.
You'll see a lot of them. A lot of them will say, "Yeah, well, you know what? We're better off getting a proper manager to take us through the Champions League."
You know what?
I might be the only person here who thinks Emery should be given until the end of the season. But even if he is given till the end of the season, I'm saying evaluate him at the end of the season. I'm not saying keep him on for that long. I'm saying evaluate him as he goes. If by January shit hits the fan, you evaluate him then. I'm not saying
shit's hitting the fan now. It's hitting the fan now.
No, it's not. It's not that bad right now.
It is.
99% of Arsenal fans want Emery out, but they're all hiding behind the shield of but if we don't get top 4.
Yeah.
If we don't get Champions League.
Why wait that long?
You either want him out because you think he's not good enough, or they're hiding behind is it interim manager.
No, but some people
obviously
some of you guys are setting him up for failure. Some of you guys are setting him up for failure. Like the other day, Terry, you said Emery support. I'm supporting Emery today, and if he picks the right team, I'm going to support him. The moment he didn't pick the right team, you said I'm done with him.
The kid, he's setting himself up for failure because you can't deny facts. That's what I mean. You're saying that if he don't get top 4, we should sack him, right? He didn't get top 4 last year. We are statistically, and the facts are all there showing that we are worse off this season than what we are last season. He's got a better team. He's brought in his players, and we're still doing as bad, well, worse than what we was last season. So why should we wait until the end of the season to hopefully, with fingers crossed, that he should get top 4, when really we should have got top 3 last season, and we ended up top 5.
Kid, can I just ask you a question, right?
Yeah.
And I will say this, right? Because I know Sonny and Terry preach it every single podcast on here, right? Anyone who's Emery in, come on.
Yeah.
Right? And you know what? Fair play to you, because you have, you're believed, you stick by him, right? Even though you're probably on your own on this podcast with to that, fair play to you. But the one thing I will say, right, is for a man who's been here almost 2 years now, right, who still doesn't know his best 11, when the man had a 36-page dossier on every single player here, right?
Yes.
And he plays different formations and different systems per game, to a point where even the players like, Christ, what system are we playing now? 10 minutes later, it's a whole new one.
Yeah.
Now, the man had a 36-page dossier, so the man knew every player inside out. You're telling me 2 years he doesn't know his best 11? Yeah, when he knows these players inside out, he makes them watch video after every...
He does know his best 11 though, Diesel. But the thing is, his best 11 is different than the fans' best 11.
No,
he's different than the fans.
Just chops and changes those, Sonny. There's no rhythm. There's no. This is what I don't get.
Listen, he makes it hard to back him and with his decisions. I'm not going to get you. I understand where you're coming from. He does a lot of things that does our heads in, and we don't understand what he's talking about half the time. So he's very frustrating as a manager to have. But I feel like if he was more charismatic, all his bad attributes people would not care about, because if he was able to communicate properly, listen to me. If he was able to communicate properly with the fans and the players and stuff, you'd only be hearing the right things. It's because he doesn't communicate with us properly. We only hear the negative. It's because the media is telling us what we hear.
Look at the Leeds manager that doesn't speak English. The Leeds manager doesn't speak English, but the Leeds fans actually, they love him. They have that connection because
you know what. I don't care how charismatic Emery could be, right? Emery could stick his willy on the fucking desk while he's doing his press interview, right? Right? I don't care how charismatic he is. At the end of the day, if he's not picking the right team and playing the right football, I don't care if he's the most likable guy in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but one thing I'd say is this year, because I remember Amaguna, you read the statement in the beginning of the show, right? Yeah. And I feel like Emery, and what you said as well, Diesel, right? Where he just spouts out a lot of information, you know what I mean? And he has a lot of information in his head, you know what I mean? Oh, he's got, I don't know how many, 300 ways of playing or whatever, do you know what I mean? And whatnot. And I feel like this can translate into how his team plays sometimes. You know where I said that some of the young players don't actually know what they're meant to be doing.
Yeah, they go to Freddie.
Yeah.
What did he just say, Freddie? Translate that for us. What was it?
You know what, right? You know what? Emery, before he goes to bed with his missus, right? He goes to the toilet first, right? Shaves his balls. He shaves his balls, puts a bit of talcum powder down there, reads the Kama Sutra, so he's got 500 positions in his head, right? And when he comes to doing his missus, he goes missionary. That's Emery.
Well, you're allowed to say that, but you're not allowed to put a picture up of him kissing his Saka, no?
Yeah, I see that.
Oh my God, that was ridiculous.
Anyway, we've come to the end of the podcast. Right, join us tomorrow, right, for a watch along with Terry and Simon. Terry, you're doing it tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm not going, so that's what I mean. I'll drive us home money and watch it in the warm mass.
Join us tomorrow for watch along with Terry and Simon, and then straight after the final whistle, whoever wants to come on the podcast, let me know, and then we'll do a match reaction straight afterwards. And then on Friday we're going to do the Palace preview, and then I'm not going Arsenal no more. Why Emery's there? I'm going to pick and choose my games, so I'm not going to go for a good while because I just can't take it. Right? Then Saturday it'll be a watch along. With probably me, because probably Terry will be at the game. Sunday, sorry. Sunday. We're both doing a watch along on Saturday because there's no game.
Be more interesting.
So Saturday, Sunday we'll do a watch along, and then we'll do a podcast straight after the final whistle as well. Thanks to everyone in the comments. As you notice, I do read out your comments. You don't need to have a super chat or donations to get your comment read on this channel, right? So we're all interactive. Please subscribe, like, share. Thanks to everyone. Hit the like button. Thanks to Imaguna. Thanks to the kid, who's not really a kid. He's probably a 50-year-old man. How old are you, kid, by the way?
He's probably the oldest one out of all of us, isn't it?
Kid, how old are you?
I'm 27.
Why are you calling yourself the kid then?
That was my nickname. It was the Kid EG. That's my Twitter handle too.
Yeah, but bruv, you can't be 65 and be called the kid.
Yeah, my name's Igel.
Sweet boy.
What's your real name?
Igel.
Igel, yeah, of course it is. Thanks to Addy.
No, Denzel.
Thanks to Denzel.
Denzel Washington, okay.
AFTV FC, big up yourselves. Broads, where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, Broads as it's spelled down there. BROADZ TV. That's my YouTube, Broads TV, and every other social media, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at JBroads.
Do that J again. That looks like Chinese writing.
What is?
Diesel, thanks for joining us again.
No, thanks, man.
Addy, how come you haven't got a YouTube channel yet?
Can Broad go to an interview with Emery and do the sign language for us? We might
have you seen my picture with Emery?
No, Emery, how many you played at the back, Emery? Good. Addy, how come you ain't got his YouTube channel yet? Or you're not
you know what? Like, look, if the fans want it, I'll do it. Obviously, I'm waiting for Broads to give me that call up as well. But but yeah, no, that's it. Like, obviously, I'm just here to speak my mind. Thank you for the platform again for bringing on here. But,
no, you're always welcome. Come on, man. Big up to Curtis Shaw as well, who was here. So go and subscribe to Curtis Shaw TV as well. Everyone, we're out of here. Thanks to everyone in the comments. Hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't done so, tell your friends and share us on Facebook as well, because obviously no one knows about us. So I'm not going to be on AFTV for quite a few weeks. So here's where you find us. Anyway, we'll see you all again tomorrow. Take care.
Bye.
I'm all right. Cheers.
Thanks, guys.